Hi, everybody. This is Moss Jackson. Welcome to Mondays with Moss. I just woke up a little while ago, had a fast breakfast. Judy, unfortunately, had to get to the office early this morning and see some clients over at our Center for Psychological Services. So she's not here for this broadcast. This broadcast is going to be short. I think this is the 10th. I want to start to focus on the 10th scale of successful couples, whether or not they're in marriage, non-marriage, living together, any kind of partnership, so to speak. And then asked last week for people to suggest anything they think is really at the top of their list. I had things like humor. That was really important. What else was there? I don't have my iPhone here, so I'm on my list. I think listening, empathy. I don't remember the others. Sorry about that. But next, hopefully during the week, we're going to post Judy and I working together and talking about this, talking about how shared meaning has value for us and has had value for us. So shared meaning, what is it? It basically means that you, as a couple, as a partnership, you're doing more than just getting along. Let's say you're whatever it is, a partnership, business. You're just doing more than just getting along. Roommates can get along and be just fine, but intimate partners, and by intimate I mean sharing, shared values, being able to do a good job listening, being empathic, showing an interest in each other on an ongoing basis. So it's not just you're over there, I'm over here, we're sharing space and time. It's like, no, we're really connected. Many intimate partners feel like they're on a journey together. They're building something. They have a shared sense of purpose or a mission. And they have a loyalty and agreement to uphold whatever mutually agreed values and goals they have. I'll tell you about a situation, I think, where they have a shared value, but they ran into a conflict. So, for example, in business, I want to be on your team. I really value what you're doing, and I love to be able to come and contribute what I have because I think my values and how I work can make a real contribution to your team. People who have shared meaning, that they're really working to succeed for ways to work with their partners to build a unique culture with its own rituals. They don't sacrifice their own individual identities for the sake of the group. They try to find a way to mesh what's important to them with what's important to the partners. So I'll give you an example. I have a couple who's been married, lovely couple, with 2 young kids, and one of the partners feels very strongly that everyone in the family should get the vaccination for COVID. The other one, who's a scientist, has an opposite view. She says, I don't trust the vaccination yet. I need more time to see what happens, to see if there are any side effects. Because this vaccine came up pretty fast, don't you remember? Usually these kind of vaccines take years to develop, but somehow they were able to move with tremendous accelerated speed and get the drug. But in any case, they are co-committed. They have a purpose, one of which is to have a environment in which their kids are safe and healthy. They both have this commitment, but now they have this conflict because the dad wants to get the kids vaccinated and the mom says, no, I'm not ready for that. I'm not going to get vaccinated. The dad already got vaccinated. So they have this shared meaning, shared purpose, which is to create safety for the kids, but they have a different interpretation right now over the medication. As we go into the warmer months, I'm not sure where this is going to go, but they keep coming back to, even though we're upset, with each other, because I'm not getting you to see my point of view. They see their points of view, but you're not doing my point of view. That they keep coming back, even though they have arguments about it, because they have a shared meaning, shared value. Long ago, I met my partner, Bruce Miller, at Jaime's Delicatessen. I don't mean to promote Jaime's, although it's very good. It was a great, great bagel and egg. It doesn't matter. Sometimes they babble. That's why I have Judy. She keeps me focused. It's part of our shared meaning. But anyway, we met for lunch. Someone told me that this guy was pretty sharp and he might really make a good partner or someone, an employee or something. So anyway, we had lunch together, and he was a psychologist with a new family, and I think he had a small baby. Don't remember the age of the child. But this goes back many, many, many years. As we talked, we realized we both had a common purpose, common interest. We wanted to build a center in the mainline area of Philadelphia that was a premier center for psychological services, where people could come in. They had challenges, they had roadblocks and tangles, but he and I would build a center of therapists who really were committed to that kind of pro or positive point of view. People who had challenges and they wanted to live, creative and successful lives. So I think the original purpose of the center was to create strategies and solutions to help people solve their problems and challenges of everyday life. This goes back to probably around 1982. So Bruce Miller came on board. He worked for me, basically, for a couple years. Then we decided to form a partnership because other people wanted to join our office. So we met, created this name. Prior to that, it wasn't really the center. It was just Moss Jackson practicing. And we formed the center, and we were really excited about it. And we got a printer, an artist, and produced some brochures. Very exciting, really exciting. And then gradually over the years, we brought on more and more therapists. Probably at our heyday, we would have around maybe close to 20 people in the whole center doing psychological testing, doing art therapy, doing energy work, doing family work, working with kids. And it was a thriving center. And we did it on a handshake. I would not suggest doing it on a handshake, but we had a sense of co-commitment and a shared purpose to create a center that would really be the premier center in the main line and help people solve their problems of everyday life in a creative way. We grew. We got a lot of attention. My partner and I would often give talks together. We did some consulting at a school together, a Hilltop School, which was a school for kids who had learning problems. And really over the Philadelphia area, we got to be known pretty well, I hope. Because the referrals kept coming in, so I assumed things were good. And on a handshake, now Bruce and I, over the years, ran into certain problems. I'm kind of a freewheeling, sometimes not very attentive to detail person, big picture thinker, and I like to create new programs. Like, for example, although I was trained as a clinical psychologist in the 1990s, I created another center under the name of the Center for Psychological Services called Corporate Initiatives, where I did a lot of work for local companies, helping them hire right, train their people in emotional health and well-being. And we did testing when they needed someone tested for hiring purposes. That was the thriving business too. So it wasn't a partnership, it was just me. So anyway, coming back to my partnership with Bruce. So Bruce retired this past year, and we had to move our center, really after 50 years in Ardmore, to a wonderful little office suite in Rosemont. And we still have the Center for Psychological Services And we have a good number of the people who worked at the original center over the years. People working for us for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Come with us. I don't think anyone dropped out. Bruce retired, but we maintain this notion we'll work together, make referrals to each other. Every Monday morning, every other Monday morning, we have supervision where we help each other out. So we have a center where we're independent, but we have a shared purpose, which is to do our best to help people live great lives, successful lives, move them through the knots and tangles and challenges. And we know each other pretty well, so we're well balanced because we have people who will work well with kids, work well with adults. Several of us work really well with couples and families because we've had family therapy training or couples training. Some couple are really good with energy work because that's part of the psychotherapy regimen now, knowing how to move energy, because we know emotions are energy. And thoughts are photons of energy, and your thoughts and feelings create changes in your body and your emotional well-being. So we have a center. I have no partnership with anybody. No, I do, not with my partner. That handshake is still there, but he's not there. We really are now in a group practice, and it seems to be working well. We haven't been there a year yet, but I think we got settled. All of us like the center, and the only time we really get together is during supervision. But that's an example. We have a practice to talk with each other, keep each other focused, help each other out. I think we have a very strong help each other out ethic. We're interested in each other, and we listen to each other and then give suggestions. And we ask, is this helpful? Is there anything else you want to say about that? Do you want to talk about that some more? Are you open up to an idea? So we're all committed to each other's getting untangled. So the 10th value or a practice for success in a relationship, be it a personal one, like my couple having some roadblock over the vaccination, which is smoothed out pretty much, and my practice with Bruce on a handshake to build a center where we teach people creative ways to solve their problems and knots, and Judy and I have that now. We have a practice, a partnership based upon, I think, a sense of shared meaning, definitely a deep sense of co-commitment. We're much more, after decades of living together, we're much more than roommates. I think we do take care of each other. And we have very different ways of operating. For example, my Bruce and I, my partner, had a different way. He was much more detail-oriented, more analytical. Without him, I don't think we would have had a successful center, because he could look at the details. The details would bore me. They still do. They always have. So fortunately, I have a wife who's more detailed. So at least I know my weakness and find people who balance that out. I hope they feel I'm doing something to balance what they need out. It seems to, because I've been married for, what is that now? 50-something years. God. And my partnership with Bruce was over 50 years. So, wow. I guess I like long-term relationships. Even though I'm highly independent and a little quirky in my ways, these partnerships work when I find the right partner. That's the key, find the right partner. So anyway, I hope you found this little talk, this little meandering talk, after waking up late and gobbling down a quick breakfast. I hope you found this useful and interesting. And next week, Judy and I will talk some more about it, about our couples, how we think about shared meaning to help people move through their problems, help them move through their roadblocks, see the quirks, the landmines in their relationship, and help them co-partner, and build something really worthwhile together. So both people feel valued, co-independent, not codependent, but co-independent. Maybe it's called mutual independence. That might be a good term. We could look at that. Anyway, I don't see anybody popping up, and maybe you're sleeping. It looks like a pretty decent day here. I have not exercised, to tell you the truth, for a number of weeks, almost 2 months, because I got a case of shingles about that amount of time. And even though the rash has gone down, I have some neurological pain, but I'm taking medication for it, which is great. That's helping me out a lot. So I think this week I will start up some exercise. I'm feeling too much like a blob, so I got to ask my wife to kind of support me in that. All right? I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for those of you who gave your suggestions. We'll review them next week, what they were, and have a great week. And I look forward to seeing you again. Okay? Bye.